The EPA dropped its investigation into Louisiana's Cancer Alley and its link to racial discrimination, plunging environmental advocates into a state of unrest. Kara St. Cyr rehashes the details of the investigation and talks to advocates about the future of anti-pollution work in St. James Parish.
We got this picture when we marched to the Capitol in Baton Rouge, Robert Taylor and Pat Bryan and myself. I forgot, I don't know the date. They don't like to put dates on things.
Sharon Lavigne is somewhat of a local celebrity in St. James Parish. She's plastered on newspaper articles as the face of anti-air pollution advocacy.
I met a lot of people, and they are concerned about what's going on in St. James. And just like I said, we brought our complaint to them. We don't wait till they come to us.
In 2018, she founded Rise St. James to fight the influx of air pollution. Her focus was to limit industrialization by advocating against Formosa Plastics, a petrochemical plant being built near her parish. That litigation is still pending. Her second focus was to limit emissions from already existing industries like Dinka, a petrochemical plant that emits a known carcinogen, chloroprene.
My neighbor on this side of me died with cancer. My neighbor on that side died with cancer. And we have so many other people that have cancer right now as we speak. Right down the street, there's a lady with cancer. A lady I work with cancer. A whole slew of people with cancer.
Dinka is one of many industries lining the 85-mile stretch of land dubbed Cancer Alley. It starts near Plaquemine and ends in the river parishes near New Orleans. The stretch is the focus of criticism from environmental activists all over the state, the country, really. But last year, the complaints made it all the way to the Environmental Protection Agency. The EPA promised an investigation.
The residents of Cancer Alley have been facing a disproportionate exposure to environmental harms for decades. And EPA accepted for investigation a complaint grounded in civil rights.
Debbie Chiselwer is an attorney with Earth Justice, a group that asked the EPA to investigate. She says the agency's initial report suggested evidence of discrimination.
They were looking to see if, in fact, the residents had adverse and disparate health impacts from these exposures.
The EPA was investigating whether actions by LDEQ and the Department of Health adversely affected the Black communities near these areas. The Dinka facility, the location where Formosa Plastics would be built, and Cancer Alley as a whole. The initial report raised concerns about the health of students and residents near those places.
EPA's initial factual investigation strongly suggests that Louisiana residents who identify as Black and are living and/or attending school near the Dinka facility have been subjected to adverse and disparate health impacts as a result of the Louisiana Department of Environmental Quality's decisions.
In May, the state of Louisiana filed a lawsuit against the EPA, accusing the agency of abusing its power. The Dinka plant also weighed in, accusing the EPA of advancing a political agenda. The next month, on June 27th, the EPA dropped its investigation.
I feel hurt. I feel disappointed because we are the victims and we are not being protected. And I feel like LDEQ should protect us. And I feel like EPA should protect us. And I feel like, first of all, our officials, local officials, now governor, are not protecting us.
We reached out to the EPA for an interview, but were declined. In a statement, a spokesperson for the agency wrote that on June 27, 2023, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, Office of Environmental Justice and External Civil Rights, and the Office of External Civil Rights Compliance issued letters administratively closing its investigation of complaints. They went on to say that they remain, quote, fully committed to improving environmental conditions in St. John the Baptist and St. James parishes.
From high school, that's Michaela, that's my little granddaughter. The EPA told us that they will come down and have a meeting with us to explain why they made that decision. And I believe them, and I still have confidence in them.
Lavigne says now isn't the time to quit. It's back to the drawing board.
This is my home, and I'm not about to leave. And God, when he spoke to me, I asked him if I should leave, and he told me no. So I received my answer from him, and he told me to fight.
We also reached out to LDEQ for an interview, but they declined as well. They did release a statement, quote, LDEQ is satisfied with the outcome of the EPA Title VI investigation of complaints filed against LDEQ. In court filings, EPA noted that those complaints have now been resolved and the investigations closed without any finding of a Title VI violation. EPA advised LADQ Secretary Gingles on June 27 that it had closed the complaints.